Hi, I've had this Xero scooter for a few months now and I've been very happy with its performance. That said, I've had a couple of small safety issues that I wanted to share with you today just in case you encounter the same problems. Now the first thing was the brakes. So when I ordered this scooter, one of the reasons I chose it was because it has dual hydraulic disc brakes front and back, which is the safest braking system that you can get on any vehicle. So when it arrived, I was a little bit disappointed with the performance of the braking system on it. The back brake was fine, it worked as normal. However, the front brake, the brake lever would pull in almost to the handlebar, and indeed after a couple of weeks it actually was pulling into the handlebar. And it wasn't braking the scooter. So I needed to get that fixed. The first thing I did was talk to the importer of the scooter, and they suggested that it was probably air in the hydraulic lines and that what I needed to do was take it to a bicycle shop and get them to bleed the air out of the brake lines. So I did take it to the local bicycle shop, but unfortunately they didn't have the right fittings to go on the Zoom braking system. So after that I decided to order my own brake bleed kit, which I got off Amazon, and I did the brake bleed myself. And I'm happy to say now that the brakes are fantastic. Front brake is rock solid, and I can get the scooter to pull up from 25 kilometres an hour to zero in less than 5 metres, so I'd rate that as excellent braking. So that's the first thing. The next thing is, recently I installed this, which is a steering damper, and after I'd installed the damper I noticed something I hadn't noticed before, and that was that there's a lot of play in the handlebars. So I could literally turn the handlebars a few degrees before the front wheel would actually start to move. And I only noticed this after I put the steering damper on, because of course the steering damper was providing some resistance to the turning of the front wheel, and pushing against that resistance I could feel all this play and slop in the steering. So I wasn't happy with that. The first thing I did was I went over the whole scooter and checked every bolt for tightness. They do advise you to do this when the scooter's new, and I did do it when it was new. However, I thought maybe something's come loose, so I'll just go over it and give it the once over. I didn't find any loose bolts, so that was all good. So no explanation for the slackness in the steering. I then looked at the stem clamp and I tightened that up. It was already tight, but I put a couple more turns on it, and now it's so tight I probably couldn't even get it undone with my bare hands. But still, that didn't fix the slackness in the steering. So I got to looking at a few YouTube videos and I discovered that there's actually a bolt on there that I missed when I was doing all the tightening. I didn't even know it existed. And that bolt is down here at the base of the stem. So underneath the stem here, if you stick your finger up underneath there, you can feel the head of the bolt. It's quite a substantial bolt. It's a 10mm bolt, and to adjust it, tighten it, you need one of these. This is an 8mm Allen key. And you need an L-shaped one like this so that you can put that up underneath the stem, and you'll feel it engage in the head of the bolt, and then you need to tighten that as tight as you can make it. It's a normal thread, so tighten it clockwise, as tight as you can go. So once I did that, the problem went away. There's no slack in the steering now. It's very direct, very positive. And an interesting other thing that came out of it was that after I got the scooter, I noticed that there was a lot of creak in the stem. And this is a common problem with these scooters, not just the Xero 10X, but most of these beast electric scooters, as they call them. I see a lot of people talking about it on YouTube and social media, and it seems that most people solve it by buying a heavy-duty stem clamp. However, after I tightened that bolt, all of that creakiness went away completely. So I actually killed two birds with one stone, which is good. So the key takeaways are, if you've got spongy brakes, don't ignore it because they won't get any better, they'll only get worse. You need to take it to an expert and get them fixed. Or else, if you want to do your own brake bleed, as I did, you can order the kit off Amazon. And I'll put a link in the description section to my other video, which tells you exactly how to do that brake bleed. Also, you need to check the bolts on the scooter periodically, I would suggest, because they can always work loose with vibration. And you need to go over the whole scooter and check every bolt, including specifically the bolt at the bottom of the stem. I would suggest probably that you need to pay particular attention to any bolts that are in the stem area, the steering area, or the front and back wheels and brakes, because if any of those bolts come loose, you could be in a world of pain. So that's it for today. That's my 2 safety shares. And if you have any safety shares on your scooter, be it a 010X or any other scooter, please share them in the comment section. I think it's useful to everybody in the scooting community. And as always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.